get in my workout, and then the fucking bat signal went off, and Thundercats, oh, here we go. We're here.
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah.
I
know, because I said Thundercats, ho, you think I'm talking about you right away? Actually, that would be a great name for a group of like-minded. We got the Seagals for the Seahawks. Thundercats Ho would be a great name for Detroit Lions. Lady fans, this is brilliant.
I'm going to get that T-shirt made right now.
Ho! Oh my God!
Thundercats Ho!
It's Lionel, but he's holding a giant Lions-colored dildo. Oh, it could be like Gary.
Gary.
That's an inside joke.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, who's Gary? Because the Gary chant for you and me is a completely separate thing.
Oh, no, it's the same thing.
Is it Gary Allen?
Yeah, it is. But it's also the name of a giant dildo.
The Gary Allen?
Yeah. Well, don't you remember?
Gary Allen has his own dildo line?
You discovered a dildo at a party once. And I believe that its name was Gary. And I believe, as the legend goes, at the party, you or someone else brought the giant dildo out onto the dance floor, and in a thrusting motion up now, went, Gary, Gary, Gary. And from that spurred the Gary Allen legend, which to this day we use on the radio without mentioning the part about the dildo. People just think we love Gary Allen.
I don't remember this. Wow. I don't remember this at all.
How is it that you don't remember that? Like, you're the one who told me the story. That's wild.
I remember the Gary, but I don't remember the dildo part.
As he peels a banana.
How timely. Is the cucumber next?
I got the cucumber somewhere else, and it fits just fine.
I had to ask Justin, I'm like, how come every morning at 6:02 I start hearing, my wife's name is Carrie. I'm like, what are you guys saying? I go, it sounds like my wife's Carrie. And he told me that story, and I was like, TMI, I wish I had never asked.
I don't remember this at all. I have a feeling that I have lived such a colorful life, but I just don't remember any of it. And that's really scary.
Scary.
Ho!
Thundercats.
Hey, we can all, as of this recording, say that we are a collective 3-0. We are undefeated.
Our teams
Vikings, Lions, Seahawks.
Isn't that exciting?
Let's go.
Yeah. You know what's going to be really interesting is when we listen back to our...
Yeah, remember that week we were undefeated?
Yep. Right? I mean, I think people scoffed at me when I said that the Vikings were probably going to win this thing with or without J.J. McCarthy. I seem to remember I said it doesn't matter who plays quarterback for this team. I said it could be J.J. McCarthy, it could be Wade Wilson, it could be Sam Darnold. Let's just throw a name out there. And with the way this offense is constructed and the way this team is coached and all the pieces around it, it doesn't matter. Any of the Thundercat hoes could play quarterback for the Vikings and probably go, I don't know, 13-3, 13-4 this year.
Let's give it a go. Thundercats. Oh.
Some of us are still undefeated in fantasy football, though.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, there's a couple of us that are. Oh, it feels so good when you finally get bragging rights and you get to say that you beat one of your co-hosts, Justin, in fantasy football.
Oh. It's funny. I'm in two leagues, one that costs no money and one that costs, I don't know, again, I forget what it costs in pounds, euros, crypto. In the free one,
it was $30. You paid dollars, so it was $30.
Yeah, but I don't know what the conversion rate is. I feel like I probably got jobs somewhere.
Like $26 or 26 pounds.
So you only had to pay 26 and I had to pay 30? Anyway, in my free league, which I also auto-drafted, I'm crushing it. The fucking one I paid $30 for. Jesus Christ, I've got Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
And
Travis
one
Kelce
of us
was busy thinking about the mustache ride he was going to offer up catching a fucking ball.
And only one of us will be undefeated after next week because Miss K and I are matched up this week.
I haven't
I'm
looked at your
intrigued.
teams. I barely pay attention to these foolish things, but
Well, the Lions play the Buccaneers.
what does that have to do with your fantasy team?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. This is different.
We're shit talking a different variety. Right?
That's right.
You know what was funny? So the auto draft was humming along, doing just fine, and then when I was alerted that the draft was happening, I jumped on and I made 2 picks, and then I let it go back to auto draft. And the funny thing is, I'm like, oh, I know those guys are great. Can't believe they're still around. Both of them are either like out for the season or like out for half the season. So shows you how much I really know and/or care about fantasy football.
Nailed it. It makes me wonder how much you know about football as a whole. Which brings us to our debate today. Welcome to Sweat Socks and All That Sauce with Justin K. and Todd Warden. No sport is off limits and the debates are always debatable. Follow us on socials at Sweat Socks Pod. And this week we're talking about football, but we're debating the best and worst football films. I'm so excited for this
There's
one.
so many movies about football, and why not? It's such a beloved and amazing sport, and the things that happen to revolve around it. It's the best game, the best sport, and therefore it makes. Okay, not the best movies. There's been a lot of shitty movies about football. Not gonna lie.
None about fantasy football though.
Yet
They make every movie's about a fucking comic book now. Why don't they just make a football movie about fantasy?
Yeah, well, they have a whole show about fantasy, so why do they need a movie?
The League was a pretty good show, actually. I don't know if there's
A great show.
Yeah. The Fanvengers. This is like the fantasy football, but like Earth's mightiest nerds who assemble to crunch numbers and fucking come up with the ultimate team. Perhaps do they have to play to save the world? Does their team have to beat some intergalactic team that's assembled a better fantasy squad? Are we limited to just the teams on Earth, or will it be fictional, teams from other planets and galaxies?
Like Space Jam. They did a Space Jam. Do it with football. That's why you're going to be the billionaire and Kay and I will be millionaires.
Fantastic. I'm here for that.
For sure.
Before we get into this debate, and I swear to God, Todd, you better have some actual movies that I have seen on your list. Can we get some of the latest news, please? And why is it
Hot
that I beat Justin in our first fantasy football matchup? I just need to put that in one more time.
Hot off the press, Justin's favorite sport. The long this relates to all three of us and our long-suffering fandom. The long national nightmare for the tiny country of San Marino is over as their footy team, the world's lowest ranked soccer team, just won their first match in 20 years, defeating Liechtenstein. They steamrolled them 1-0, Justin, in a UEFA Nations League. Before this epic victory, the last time San Marino enjoyed a win was 2004. Since that victory, San Marino fans had to endure, all right, guys, get this, 140 matches without a win.
Suck it, Cubs fans. You have no idea what kind of misery. And
Let's get that team to sponsor this podcast.
Hashtag Liechtenstein. And wait, San Marino. That's what it was.
They licked their Stein, that's for sure. Well done. Well, congratulations. That's why they play the game. That's just it. On any given Sunday, any given team. Oh, wait, that's football, real football in a different movie. But
you know what? Die-hard San Marino fan. I have now just adopted them as my football team.
I finally have a soccer team. I mean, since the Minnesota Strikers are done, I am going to now go with San Marino.
Correct, sir.
San Marino.
All right. Is Dan Marino their mascot?
God damn it. The man's just going to make billions with all these great
San Marino
fucking ideas.
Isotoner soccer gloves. They're goalie gloves. They're brilliant.
But I think for all of us, every time we suffer through a hideous season, a hideous loss, we can just be like, thank God I'm not a San Marino fan. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Is that what you do as you're heading out the door? Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Pretty much.
You make sure. Oh, you're talking about the Holy what is not the Holy Communion? What is this?
It's a Catholic thing.
Making the cross.
Justin and I are Catholic.
Making the cross.
We grew up Lutheran, but we don't.
Yeah,
they didn't make us genuflect or do that stuff.
Sorry about that.
Genuflect. That's the word. That's the word. I grew up Presbyterian, so I loved all the people. Go Scotland. Back to Hearts of Pain. So, did you guys make a list of your best and worst?
Did I ever? As a matter of fact, I brought other films just in case there was, any discussion or any tiebreakers that needed to be thrown out there, because there are so many football movies. Some are terrible.
I actually thought that there weren't as many as there could be.
Well, the question is how many have you actually seen, Kay? And again, we have to take into consideration the fact that you have been on this earth slightly shorter time than us, and also probably did not spend as much of your youth watching, like football movies as, say, myself, and I'm sure Todd did.
Yeah, I mean, I watched, basically because I grew up in a home where we didn't really watch that much football. My mom likes heartfelt movies, and it just happened to be where whenever it was movie night in our household, we always had to watch a heartfelt movie, a movie that she wanted to watch. And so for me, movies like Remember the Titans came into my life. Oh, we've got a disagreement on
worst.
What?
Oh, I didn't know we were going to worst football movies already.
Whoa. Go on. The debate is beginning.
Terrible movie. Hokey as shit. It is so unbelievable and so ridiculously corny. I get it, it's a Disney movie, but you might as well fucking animate it and put a princess back there throwing the football.
That's right.
It's fucking terrible. Denzel Washington's worst performance, worst movie ever. And it's like a star-studded lineup. Who's the other guy? Who's a coach in that movie? He's also a well-respected actor. It's trash. Sorry.
It's not trash. Young Hayden, I don't remember the other guy's name, the other coach, I don't remember his name, but young Hayden Panettiere, she killed it in that movie. She is adorable. A young Ryan Gosling. Pardon?
How old is she in that movie?
I don't know, like 9?
9?
8? I don't know. I didn't look.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't know I didn't even realize she's in the movie. I just wanted, if she was 18 or older, I'd make a comment on it. But if she's 9, then I'm sorry. Never mind. Move along.
She was adorable. She was the coach's daughter that got really into the gameplay and all that stuff. It was really cute.
Huh.
Yeah, super cute. Young Ryan Gosling. Need we say more? Young Ryan Gosling. It's also based on a true story. It's just lovely. What a great feel-good film.
You know what? It's funny that my 3 worst are all movies based on true stories. How about that?
See, those are my 3 best.
Are you gonna...
Oh no, actually my top 2.
My top
I'm just wondering.
2 are based on true stories.
Oh Jesus! All right, is either one of them Blindside?
No, my wife
thank God.
loves
Okay.
it.
Again, a true story that's like a horrific story for the Michael Oher, whatever how you say his name. Yeah, turns out that wasn't all sunshine and roses. Not a great story from his perspective, but they sure told it right. If the other one's Rudy, okay. Whew. All right, thank God.
Which one's Rudy? Is that the one with the guy who's mentally challenged?
Yes, I'll say he was. Yeah, he's mentally challenged. Absolutely, mentally challenged and thinking he could play fucking football for Notre Dame back when Notre Dame was a powerhouse. You know what he should have done? Got the fucking ring, carried Frodo up the mountain, thrown it in, and be fucking done with it. I would have rather watched 9 hours of Lord of the Rings again and again and again than fucking 9 minutes of Rudy one more time. What a fucking terrible movie. Sorry, Todd.
Well, I know.
Todd,
I know now. Justin,
was Rudy one of your
tops? Rudy. Everybody knows Rudy.
Look at me. My story was so inspirational. I had to beg fucking every Hollywood studio to please make this movie about me. And when they finally did.
And now I make $10,000 every speaking appearance I go. How many coins are we making on this?
Yeah. You know my favorite part? My favorite part of Rudy is at the end when, now keep in mind, what an amazing couple of plays he made. What is it?
One play.
One amazing play. And it's 78-0 at this point, so it doesn't matter. They bring him in, and they hoist him up on their shoulders afterwards and carry him off the field. Yeah, funny. I believe it was Joe Montana who said, oh, yeah, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek when we lifted him up on our shoulders, if you know what we're saying. They were kind of like, oh, look at the short fat kid. Oh, they let him in. Oh, my God, he got a sack. You know what? Carry him off the field. You know what? I'm sorry.
Believe it or not, the Seattle Seahawks radio announcer, Steve Rabel, who played for the Seahawks, actually played in that game for Georgia Tech, was their opponent. And he goes, yeah, it was kind of like that.
Oh my God, that makes me not like Joe Montana.
No. Don't blame Joe Montana. He's the reason Notre Dame
I'm
was
blaming Joe Montana. Why couldn't he just let us live with the legacy that was an incredible,
the
beautiful
legacy
moment?
was a lie. It was bullshit. It wasn't this.
So let us just live the lie.
You know what? It's fine.
I don't like that.
I guarantee, because I knew kids like that who play football, I guarantee this little mouth breather midget on the practice squad who just wanted to play big, we're all just trying to practice and stay healthy for game day. Little fucker's going to go at your legs, try to take you out, just try to look good for the coaches, even though there's no way he's getting past JV. Maybe he dresses come playoffs time, but that little fuck, oh no, that's Rudy Rudiger. That's him right there. He's, oh, no quitting me. I'm gonna try to make the real football players look bad because I'm just gonna go 110% in practice, which again, perfectly fine to do, except know your place, okay?
Poor Rudy, he's getting quite a bashing. So Todd, is that your number one or your number two?
That was actually number 2. Sorry, Justin, you're wrong though.
But that's fine. I would love to hear why you like that movie so much, Todd.
Because it's a true story about perseverance. And the guy, like I said, to this day, goes around inspiring people. If you've ever seen that DVD I just showed you, all the not the outtakes, but the bonus stuff, has him talking now as a way older man. And just, he still preaches, I hate this phrase in modern culture, if you can dream it, you can be it. But mother humping, if he didn't achieve his goal, was to play one play for the Golden Domers.
See, I love that. I think that's so sweet. Todd, this just proves that Todd has a heart and Justin just has a very cold, dead thing living inside of him that's kind of pumping.
It's fucking 3 sizes too small. I can't help it. Also, fuck Notre Dame. I hate everything about
I'm
Notre
with
Dame.
you there.
Love your gold domes like your gold spray paint on your helmet.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Yeah. Do you think God gives a shit about Notre Dame football?
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. Touchdown.
If anything, if there's proof that God feels any way there is at all about Notre Dame, I think he was on the field last Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Northern Illinois showed up at the fucking
block kick. Game over. Up yours, Notre Dame. I could care less.
If only they had Rudy on the sidelines, Rudy could have come and saved the day.
Did Notre Dame lose last week?
Indeed, they did. To Northern Illinois, which, by the way,
I think that's. Yeah, well, Northern Illinois, I'm pretty sure I went to Central Michigan University, and I'm pretty sure we played Northern Illinois.
I believe that. If there's a direction in the front of it, like Northern, Central, Southern, you're not a real football team. I'm sorry. That's
no, we're in the MAC conference, but you know what? We like to pretend. The MAC,
right.
Yeah, we're in the MAC, and we like to pretend that we're somebody.
That's right. But there was one really good football player that came from Central Michigan. What was his name again, Kate?
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. So clearly you need to have quite the mental capacities to get into Central Michigan. And Antonio Brown.
You have to be quite mental to get into Central. Basically,
to be fair, you typically leave your clothes on at the NFL stadium. Is that how that works typically?
No, at the NFL ones. But I did paint up for Central Michigan games, so no clothes for me.
What's the mascot of Central Michigan?
A flying C.
I'm sorry, a flying C?
It's a C. It's a block C with swooshes on the side, so it's
like,
going real fast.
You're the Chippewas or the
Chippewas.
Is it?
But the tribe didn't want us to use.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So
one thing if you had like a Notre Dame like team you're fielding out there, but yeah.
With the fucking degenerates that go to Central, no shit.
This is so
We're the ones that couldn't get into Michigan State or Michigan, and we're just the rejects.
Or Wisconsin, or Minnesota, or Illinois, or any other. Fair enough.
But we had the most fun. I had Friday Night Lights as my number 2.
It's a good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah,
great movie. Again, based on a true story.
Yes.
Tugs at the heartstrings.
Okay, sure. I like Billy Bob Thornton. He's good at most things.
Oh. I think I have this weird crush on Billy Bob Thornton, and I don't know what it is. Because he's like a chameleon. He changes for every single movie that he does. And I just adore it.
I think sometimes I feel like Todd kind of looks like Billy Bob Thornton. Like a slightly handsomer Billy
Except
Bob
for I
Thornton.
can't fix small engines, and I don't really like French fried potatoes and mustard. Mm-hmm.
Kay, did you just get a little something? You feel a little tingle there?
I like him in Bad Santa.
Oh, he's the best in Bad Santa. Best Christmas movie, by the way. We're not doing that on this podcast, but probably the best Christmas movie.
We could do that in the future. Oh my gosh, yeah, it is so good. I also love Lee Thompson Young. He's one of the characters in Friday Night Lights, but he played the famous Jet Jackson on Disney Channel. He was young, beautiful, and he sadly passed away. He died. Oh God! But I loved watching Friday Night Lights just to look at him a bit.
Did he
He was
playing
he was the really daft one. He tried to go on the field without his helmet, and his coach and Billy Bob was like, "What are you doing?"
Shocking he died. That's just absolutely a shocker.
Shocker. Did you know Amber Heard was in that as well?
Really?
I had not heard that. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Perhaps
that Amber
she
Heard was
pushed
in
him
it.
down the stairs. Do we know the cause of death? Just throwing it out there. I didn't know this was a true crime podcast. We've got to add a lot to our description.
We sure do. Parenting tips? I don't know. Parenting tips? Sex? What else is there?
Christmas
True crime.
movies,
Christmas.
real crime. We got it all. This is a Walmart, Fleet Farm, whatever you want to call it, of Fred Meyers of podcasts. Really.
God. Justin, I'm curious, what are your top films?
Well, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
What? I mean, coming in at number 3, it's got to be Any Given Sunday. Any Given Sunday. I mean, Oliver Stone directs this movie.
That is a
and
terrible movie, man.
You're a terrible movie.
That is like,
Al Pacino, Dennis Quaid, James
Oh
Woods,
my
Cameron
God.
Diaz, Jamie Foxx, Lawrence Taylor, and Jim Brown.
Oh
Either of them
my
could have won
God.
Best Supporting Actor Academy Awards. One of the best fucking speeches ever given in a movie. You need to take all those inches and then add them up. It's going to make the fucking difference between winning and losing, living or dying.
teacher. Now I know for a fact that you did not maintain sober September, Justin, because that is a drunk ass comment you just made, man.
That is ridiculous. For your information, it is I don't know what day in September, and I have maintained sobriety thus far.
Not if you're picking that movie,
Well
man.
done.
No way.
Should have won Academy Awards. It's unbelievable. It's Steamin' Willie Beeman. I mean, it never quits. What a great movie. Now coming in at number 2, and this one, keep in mind, it just because it's near and dear because it came out. I'm playing high school football, trying to play college football, and out comes The Program with James Caan and Halle Berry and Omar Epps and Darnell. ESU, we just want to welcome you. Darnell, ESU, we just want to welcome you. And I just pictured that being me someday, but turned out it didn't really work out that way. I did not really get.
Wait, being the cheerleader?
No, not.
Or being the guy that is being cheered?
Yes, yeah. When Darnell came to visit ESU and got a little taste of college life, when they were trying to recruit this kid to come play for The Program, they roll out the red carpet, and then he joins the program, and then you see the seedy underbelly of college football, not just from the coaching perspective, but from the players as well. There was a scene in it where a bunch of the players to get a rush, all went and laid the middle of the road, and as the cars drove by them going either direction, and then some chuckleheads actually tried it and got run over, so they had to remove that scene from the movie. But I got to see it in the theater where they had that scene in there, and no, Todd, it was not me and my friends that got run over by that car. Just in case you were wondering.
I think you're sober in
Wait,
September.
so was this like a documentary?
No, I would say based on a true story, and by that I mean just the larger true story that is college football. And it's just,
Right.
yeah. I don't want to watch it again now because it may sully my memory of it. I just remember really liking that movie because, again, I was playing high school football, trying to elevate to that next level, and was just a lot of
Yeah, but
motivation.
fuck Rudy. So, and I think that you are maintaining sobriety in September because you are in the program, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Now, 12 is way too many steps for me. Give me the 8 steps, and I'll jump on that program. And thank you for asking the best football movie of all time. Flash Gordon, without a doubt.
Oh, God.
Flash Gordon.
What the fuck is Flash Gordon?
What the fuck is Flash Gordon? Only like one of the greatest defenders of the universe and galaxy. Flash Gordon played football for, I believe, the New York Jets, and then he accidentally got shot into space on a rocket ship, and then accidentally ran into Ming the Mongrel or Ming the Conqueror or something like that. Anyway, Flash Gordon has to use his on-the-field football skills to save the universe. And it's a who's who. I mean, like, the acting in it. And Kay, let me tell you this. You were talking about the soundtrack and whatever shitty movie you were talking about. There is not a better soundtrack than Flash Gordon, which, by the way, was done by Queen.
Yes,
and it is as good as it gets. These were just like, oh, it's a Marvin Gaye song. No, this shit was all fucking original just for Flash Gordon. Look up the Flash Gordon theme song by Queen. Gets me hard to this day. Flash, here's a miracle. Oh, getting woozy.
It's a terrible song for Queen.
I'm really excited for this because I kind of came up with this idea when we get to the worst films. I came up with this idea that we're going to watch the 3 worst films that we decide on. We're going to watch them and we're going to debate which one is the actual worst, the second and the third. And I'm putting Flash Gordon on there that we all have to watch.
Now, keep in mind, it was a stretch. This was like the early 80s. Special effects were not what they are today. So they tried. They gave it a go. I'll just say that.
I'm just saying, I'm adding it to the worst films.
No, you don't.
Say that again?
It's my favorite film. You can't just willy-nilly decide to throw it in there. Unless, of course, this is like some kind of democracy where 2 people vote against one and then it goes from one place to the other, which is kind of what it's sounding like right now, by the way. Fuck
Todd,
off, fine. My favorite
No,
on the
it's a
bottom.
terrible movie.
Okay, good. Well, Rudy is also on the bottom. Rudy's also.
Yeah, okay, Justin, says the guy, Remember the Titans is the worst football film ever. So you've done the exact same thing I've just done. But I'm just solidifying that Flash Gordon is going to be one of the top 3 worst ones.
You haven't even seen it. You can't just say that. That is so ignorant, Kay.
I think what it is I just really want to watch it, and I want an excuse to watch it, and try to come up with the reasons as to why it's just awful. But I'm going to end up loving it. And then, what about Varsity Blues? How do we feel about Varsity Blues, guys?
Yeah. Me.
Yeah.
Me.
Even the scene where Allie Larder, she comes out with the whipped cream, like, on her titties and her vagina, and that didn't do it for you? You don't even remember this?
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I was probably busy.
Oh, God. Great scene. I always wanted to do that.
You always wanted to do that? Hey, you know what? I think we should.
And now the Thundercats for your halftime entertainment.
Can we have little tails, too?
I'm not into the furry thing, Kay. Except now I kind of am.
Oh, God. All right, what's the worst, Justin? What's the worst on your list? Top number 3 of your worst.
Well, I mean, we've already talked about Remember the Titans, horseshit. We talked about Rudy, also horseshit. What?
Heartless dick. Go on.
Oh my God! Oh, by the way, and The Blind Side was also going to be on there because, again, it's a true story that's just horrific. But I would also like to say Jerry Maguire should be on that list because it takes a sacred and hallowed sport like football and turns it into a fucking love story, and that is the worst. And I don't care how much the human head weighs. I don't give a shit.
Okay, so on that note, what do you think of Draft Day?
Honest, I didn't make it through draft. That's the one with Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even make it through halfway. I fell
weak.
asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, but there's this love story between him and Jennifer Gardner, and there's no need. What the fuck? You love her?
No, I'm just saying that's just it. There is no need. They Hollywood feels the need to put like a romantic element into it to somehow appeal, so that your mom will rent it for movie night, Kate.
Right, exactly. But the thing that drove me nuts about that film is this love story. That woman does not exist. How it starts out is like she comes downstairs. You find out that she's pregnant with his kid, with Kevin Costner's kid, and he's like not excited, and she just like walks out and she's all calm, and then she goes to work and they work in the same building and they work together, and she's like super chill the entire time. She's like, no, I get it. I get why you're not excited. That kind of woman does not exist on this planet Earth. So not only did they just like implement this love story, they created this fake human being. Made me angry. Can you tell?
Be that excited or opinionated about anything. So, I probably have to watch Draft Day.
If I came to someone and I was like, I'm pregnant, and they were just like, oh. No emotion, I would be real fucking
Hang on,
pissed.
we're on the clock. I gotta go. We're on the clock.
Yeah. This is the 8th round. It's everything. This is everything. If I don't get this right, we're screwed.
That's pretty much what he was like. His phone rings and he's like, gotta take this work calls.
Yeah.
I'm so important. So Draft Day went down in my estimations. Great concept. They just fucked it with this whole non-reality love story. Yeah, Blindside, that's been ruined by that whole... I liked it, and then the whole...
Truth came out.
Truth has come out.
It got Rudy, as we like to say in the business.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That poor man. Mm-hmm. Does he still...
Got
does Michael Moore still play, or is he...
got blindsided.
There you go.
Right.
To be fair, Sandra Bullock is quite short. He probably didn't see her coming.
I need to add some relief here because you have to have contrast to compare, right?
Yes.
Effectively.
Yes.
Brian's song, Tell Your Mom Kay, she's a lovely woman. Brian's song, number 1.
That's
right.
That's
James Caan lying there dying of cancer saying, it's 4th down and they won't let me punt. It's brilliant cinema.
It is.
But the greatest football movie of all time was actually produced by the Sables, Justin, Steve and Ed Sable, NFL Films. It's called Super Bowl XLVIII Champion Seattle Seahawks. Have you guys seen it? It's fucking great. It is awesome.
What has been widely panned as the most boring Super Bowl of all time, except for the Pacific Northwest. Not only, I'm sure, when they grabbed all the highlights and put the big NFL Films voice behind it, I'm sure it was a marvel to watch. How often do you watch that, Todd?
What day is it?
Yeah.
Maybe someday they'll make one about the Vikings or the Lions, but screw you guys. Best film ever.
Oh, if any team, if Detroit makes it to the Super Bowl, if any team's going to get like an actual fucking Cinderella story film made out of them, it's going to be Detroit.
I believe the answer would be the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, again, heartbreak, heartache. We are the Cubs. We are the San Marinos.
We wore paper bags on our heads to our games. Did you guys ever go that hard? No, you did not.
Because we love our team. We endured. No,
we loved them. We showed
go.
up and paid.
Just don't go to the fucking game then. You say, what? I'm not paying for this shit. Fuck you. Get a good team and we'll come back. That's the sign of a true fan. That's real fan. Some people accuse Minnesota sports fans of being fair weather. We're not fair weather. We're fucking sane. We have common sense. Like, what am I waste my fucking Sunday downtown, pay for parking, walk into that, watch the shit get kicked out of them, and then fucking drive home drunk? No. We'll just fucking stay home.
You just described my last Sunday.
But your team won.
They
which is very exciting.
It was ugly, but hey, a W is a W, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, so was that Detroit Lions game, man. That was a nail biter. And at 1 a.m,
it was a good game. Kay, it
was a good game.
You didn't subject yourself to watching what was Week 1 Seahawks football against the Broncos. The first half was probably, at least in my recent memory, and I haven't been drinking for a while, so things are coming back to me. The worst half of football I've ever watched. Both teams. And I mean, I've watched some fucking Little League football that was better than that. painful. Todd, I can't believe you didn't leave at halftime. Oh, you're probably too drunk at that point. You had to sober up to get.
No, I am already so invested monetarily. Like, I'm not leaving, man. They're gonna have to kick me out. The guy with the broom sweeping the peanut shells and the beer cans is gonna have to kick me out of here, man.
Oh my god. So Justin, question is, do we add that to our worst movies list? And we all have to sit and watch it.
You haven't watched it yet, so don't. He who's without sin can cast the first stone. Yeah.
Wait, what year was that, Todd?
48, 2013, 2014.
It's when the
10 years ago, going on 11 years ago.
2014. So that was before I knew you, Justin. I thought I went to your house to watch a Seahawks Super Bowl game.
You
once.
did not. You came to my house and you watched an Atlanta Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, one that the Vikings were supposed to be in. But more importantly, if you remember, after that epic comeback, this is the Atlanta Falcons coughing it up to just add to Tom Brady's goatness.
Yes.
Afterwards, I do believe that a broadcast on the BBC was looking for a Atlanta Falcons fan in America to be interviewed on the BBC reaction to. And while I was not a Falcons fan, I was a football fan and American and knew somebody who worked for the BBC. And guess who got to be on
No.
the British. Oh yeah, as a Falcons fan reacting to the loss. The answer was shit-faced me. And
I'm pretty
so drunk.
Justin, I'm pretty sure we were so drunk and also so high.
Yes.
I think we were a mix of all of it.
We had been drinking and smoking marijuana for hours. And somehow Kay tells the people, because they're like, oh, she's like, I know somebody. I've got a guy. And they put me on. And apparently, like, before we even get on, they're talking, because afterwards I find out that they suspected that I was intoxicated before we went on the air. So they would not let me ramble to the lengths that I wanted to. I tried to take it down a political aisle. I tried to get, like, gun rights into it somehow. I really went all American on it. And they cut me off. A little disappointed. But anyway, I've been on the BBC. I can't believe that they bought that and that.
Kay, surely you have the video saved on your phone. My God, you have the most documented life of anybody I've ever met.
You know somebody at the BBC, Kay. I want that footage. I want to see what I looked like as a Falcons fan dealing with my team giving up a historic lead and letting the Patriots win the Super Bowl. I would love to see what that
was. Was it video?
It was, I believe it was video.
It was video as well. It wasn't just like a phone call in. Dear God.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm sorry, BBC. Oh, no wonder they didn't hire me when I applied for a job.
And of course, I tried to yell "bollocks" as they are like taking me off. But no.
Oh God. Oh God. One last.
My new favorite football film, Drunk Falcons Fan on BBC.
All right.
One final worst film I have is 80 for Brady. I have not seen it, but it looks like the worst film known to mankind. It's like Sally Fields, the ladies, the two old ladies, what are their names? She's really pretty, but she's Jane Fonda. Dying.
Yes.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, yes.
But I want to watch it, and I want to do like a critique of this film so bad.
Could we just like watch The Last Boy Scout instead? Because that is technically a football movie, and Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans at that time are like peak. It's pretty good, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, I put that on my list somewhere. Ones I clearly need to dive into. The Last Boy Scout.
Great movie.
Put that on there.
Also,
and
Invincible. That did not make the list anywhere. Invincible was a great movie, and I don't even like Marky Mark. Or any Funky Bunches. There it is! Well done. Now, that's a true story I can get behind. That shit was awesome, Todd.
I liked it, and it was Disney. It was Disney. A guy named Vince Papale played for the Philadelphia Eagles, was basically walked on. He was a bartender, and his buddies were like, dude, just fucking try out. And he made the team. Made the NFL.
And
I wish I could do that.
yeah, I mean, Invincible. So the Eagles have, and I think most teams do, like open tryouts where they just come on, and they let guys run around and run into each other, and nobody ever actually like comes out of that. Two guys now. The guy from the Eagles, Adam Thielen, Minnesota Vikings, came the same way. They haven't made a movie about him yet, but the Papali, he didn't even play college football. I don't think. I think he just played high school football and then like played backyard football with his buddies. But in the movie, the part where like he has them put smaller shoulder pads on him so he can be fast enough to like get down on kick return and basically like sacrifices his body for the goodness of getting in for like one play. Also, that movie, the inspiration for one of the greatest episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia ever, the one where the gang tries out for the Eagles. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it.
Great episode. I'll give that to you. And what about Little Giants? Where are we on Little Giants? Don't make that face. That's my childhood.
I know, right? I hate to say this, but I know I've got strong opinions about this stupid shit. Rick Moranis is in so many good movies, but then also like the ones where like Merc Moranis is kind of the star are fucking terrible. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is garbage. Fucking
right. Oh, you're right,
Justin.
Justin. Okay, Justin, you're having a lucid moment coming into sobriety.
As an ancillary character in Ghostbusters, amazing.
He's the key. He's amazing. He's the key master and locks himself out of his apartment 3 fucking times.
Indeed. My Blue Heaven, where he's the sidekick to Steve Martin, amazing. Little Shop of Horrors, where the giant plant to look at, fantastic. But I'm sorry, Rick Moranis as like the lead.
But Strange Brew, come on, Strange Brew.
Hey, but we did discuss this. Strange Brew is only good for about 45 minutes.
Yeah,
and then it really starts.
All right.
What they could have done was probably just cut out 45 minutes of Rick Moranis and made it better.
Devon Sawa's in it. I always had such a crush on Devon Sawa. Guys, don't do this to me. Little Giants is a great film.
Terrible.
For all of us underdogs. I was an underdog growing up, and you know what? I felt powerful.
And now you're a Thundercat. Underdog, Thundercat.
You know what else is pretty good that didn't make the list, but maybe should have? All the Right Moves.
Oh.
Now there's a movie you might want to go back and watch, Kay. Sexy.
All the right.
Tom Cruise.
Young Tom Cruise.
Leah Thompson and the coach, Craig T. Nelson.
Went to Yakima Valley Community College. Craig T. Nelson.
Indeed.
Yes.
Coached the Minnesota State Fighting Screaming Eagles to several good seasons, I believe, with his assistant coach Dauber.
I still don't understand how you guys fit all these names and factoids in your brains. Because we don't have pictures of naked ladies with whipped cream all over them, Kay. I guess our priority is a little different than yours. She's ingrained in my mind. I would get a poster of her and put it above my bed.
Stop filming the shit out of your life, Kay, and just put it here. Life is happening in HD already, okay? Instead of whipping out the phone and pulling these... Like, I remember when that happened. It was great.
I'll tell you right now, I've just got a great idea for a side bet, because, we do like to make wagers on this program. We're all in this fantasy football league, correct? Have we come up with what the loser has to do? If, say, one of us finishes, like, further down the roster than the rest, say, like, Todd ends up in last place in our fantasy league, I think you have to recreate the varsity blue scene. I think we need photo documentation of one of us has to do the whipped cream.
Yes.
I can't believe you said yes.
Yes. Yep. It's happening. Listen.
All right, bitches. I'm 1-0, and after next week, I'm gonna be 2-0 because I'm playing her.
Oh my god! And I know Kate's
we're doing it
right now.
Listen. I've been running a lot lately. I'm hoping to do another half marathon here in the next few months. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to be in the best shape, so I'm on board. Let's do this now while I'm looking fly.
Yeah, for you, Kay White, if that is your real name.
I cut my workout short by 15 minutes to come do this fucking podcast. So I'm going to need 2 cans of whipped cream.
Thank you, Justin Michaels, if that is your real name.
Do we all shake on this? Yes, agree.
All right. Only if one of us ends up in last place. You got to be last place in the league.
No, that's not what you said. What you said was if one of us is the last between the 3 of us.
Okay.
That's what you said.
All right. Kay, I know that you're riding high in your week 1 victory, but it's a long
It's a long way to the top.
But maybe
Don't make
I
me
just
pay attention to this shit. Don't make me start playing fantasy football for real.
maybe I purposefully am going to lose now because I really want to do it.
Please make sure that you're
That'll be the
able to
name
run
of that
the-
episode is The Thundercat Sandbags It. And then in like parenthesis, like whipped cream edition. You know, like they always do the ancillary, the bonus footage, the bonus DVD footage.
Kay, do they have Ready Whip in England?
You know?
Because I just picture,
don't
I picture
know.
where you live, like you're going to be sitting there with a bowl and some cream and like whiskey just to try to get some people.
Taking what do you call those hits? California sober hits.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm going to be taking whippets off the
Whippets,
off the
that's
Ready
it.
Whip here, where we're watching Kay have to
Whippets.
dollop Swift cream onto her.
Whippets.
This is great.
Gonna look like that episode of Eastbound and Down when his chauffeur's just huffing paint out of a paper bag and he's just got a gold smiley all around.
How many weeks do we have until this bet comes to fruition?
16 more, baby.
16
Yes.
more weeks. You guys are counting down. Here we are. To send us out as always each week, Justin gives us his wise words of wisdom.
Kids, I've come to, let's see, this is my, I don't know how many days of sobriety I've been into now, and I've learned a lot, and my mind is expanded and opened, and I've realized that sometimes when you are drinking or a habitual drunk, you say and do things that you may regret later, which is why
Oh yeah,
before you
that's
say-
90% of my life.
going on to a podcast where you will have tens, if not 12s of people listening, watching, paying attention. You have to realize that there are repercussions for things that you say and do. Your actions have consequences. So when you are just a drunk Thundercat hoe, you could regret things that you thought were great ideas. My point is, when it comes to podcasting, gambling, alcohol, you probably don't want to put all three together. It's a triangle for disaster. That being said, Kay, how old are you now?
35.
Okay. Probably still good. Well, we look forward to the end of this NFL season.
I'll look forward to it as I now purposefully bomb it just so I can make my dreams come true.
Do I need to, I'm just wondering, if it's going to get in my hair. I'm kind of a furry guy. Do I,
What are you asking if you can shave it first?
should I shave it first?
That's a you question. I don't know, mate.
Okay.
I need to get a refill, you guys, so I'll just get,
Now, what I just said does not apply to Todd, because Todd is the ultimate drinking, gambling podcaster. He is a phenom unlike the world has ever seen and will ever see again. He's a triple threat. He's a three-tool player. He does it all. So the fact that he was able to stand up and walk to his refrigerator to get more alcohol speaks volumes to just the judgment that's gotten him where he is today, which is talking with us.
What does it say that I'm drinking, again, non-alcoholic beer today?
Oh. Now you make poor choices, Kay. Another one.
No. But these ones I'm making sober. Which is worse? Making poor choices sober or making poor choices when you're inebriated?
You've been sober for the last 2 episodes now, correct?
Not pregnant. Not pregnant. Don't worry. Not pregnant. Got real drunk on... See, I can't even remember what day it was.
Oh boy. Do you remember anything from that day and or evening? Is there a possibility that your inner clock is telling you something about your body? Well, let's move forward to another idea, Kay. When
What's that?
when you drunkenly get knocked up on accident again, I think that we should have a bet on a fantasy football season, and I believe the winner should get to name your child.
Okay. As much as I'd love to take that bet, I promise you I'm not going to get pregnant. I promise.
Come on,
I'm good
Kay.
with...
I'll tell you, if you
No,
get a new
no.
cat or something, you can name it if you win.
All right, if I get a pet, you can name it. I'm not having another child. I'm very happy with where my body is at the moment, and I'm happy with my one that I can keep my eyes on at all times.
Oh, no, okay, this is after you lose the bet. After that, have as many children as you want. Before that, you better fucking keep that thing tight. You know what I'm saying? That photo's going to be plastered up on our Sweat Socks and All That Sauce podcast website, on the socials. I mean, we're going to get clicks. People are going to start paying attention to this program.
So now now our podcast success is on the line.
Yes, one of us is going to have to step up and do this if we want this thing to succeed.
Very good. Guys, do shitty. Thanks for joining Sweat Socks and All That Sauce with Justin K. and Todd. You can find us, it's all on there. I don't feel like spelling it out anymore. I'm so tired of it. It's at Sweat Socks Pod. If you want to email us, it's at sweatsockspodcast@gmail.com. Till next time.
Stay sweaty.
Stay shitty. Your face. Bye.
Sweat Socks and All That Sauce is hosted by Todd Lyons, Kay White, and Justin Michaels.
Our theme song made by Pat Leonards.
And the album artwork is by Mike Willis.